Welcome Kin Photo 4 Sports and Exercise Psychology course. I dearly welcome you all to the class. My name is Miss Kim, as you can see on the screen, and I have been here a long time. I'm gonna give you more about myself a little bit later on. Let me give you my information a little bit first. My email on the slide, as you can see, kimms@sfsu.edu. Student hours, I have on Mondays 2 hours and also additional 2 hours on Tuesday afternoon. It's appointment only. So you will need to go this link, which is also available island, to schedule your appointments with me. The reason that I'm using appointment only is because I don't want multiple people drop in at the same time and waiting online and you end up wasting your time. So I want to use appointment only so that I can meet students who are scheduled. If these 4 hours are full and you will need to see me sooner, email me. Then I open up additional office hours so that we can schedule another day or same day, either Monday or Tuesday, before and after. Okay. All right. Then once you're scheduled with me at your scheduled meeting time, you use this link to zoom in and use password Kim 2020 or lowercase Kim and 2020 to zoom in, and this information also available on iLearn. All right, next, the course delivery modality. As you may have heard, this is fully online. All the classes are online and asynchronous, which means I push out the information, then you schedule your class time within your daily schedules. Weekly materials will be available by blocks. Blocks means it's not weekly publishing it. Based on feedback from my students last year, they said they wanted to see a few weeks ahead so that they can balance their workload. So I took that feedback into my heart and changed the format that I'm doing. So I have 4 blocks total throughout the semester, and then I publish it 3 to 4 weeks ahead. However, the activities and assignments are due weekly, so I'll give you more details later on when I talk about the classes and how I scheduled and designed. Of course, it requires students to have access to computer and internet. I don't have to say further about it, and I want you to really stay connected with iLearn. For both lecture content and assignments and activities. I try to structure really succinct and not to complicate way so that you can follow through. But if anything can be improved, your feedback is always welcome. Okay. Now your responsibility. I won't go over all the bullet points. However, I want to make a few points. I want you to really know about the course syllabus and policies so that you don't ask a question that has questions that have answers in the course syllabus. And I do also have a syllabus quiz, so I want you to pay attention to that. And for every week, I want you to pay attention to lesson goals and the lesson key contents, and read the textbook, go over the lecture slide, and understand the materials. And I planted a lecture slide and the videos all through the PowerPoint. So if you want to listen to them, listen to them. If you're able to keep up with course materials without watching video lessons, that's fine. It's up to you and it's your style. I'm providing as much as information I could so that you can succeed and learn from this class. Always also review things to do for the lesson because it tells you exactly what you need to do and by when. Okay, so I want you to pay attention to it. And you have questions, general questions related to course content and lectures, use weekly Q&A and then post your question there, because your question could be other students' questions, so that I will check it in the Q&A minimum once a week, not once a week, I'm sorry, once a day, so that I can get back to you. And all your questions will be answered between Monday through Friday, not on weekends. So if you ask any questions on weekends, you are not going to hear back from me, okay? So post your questions ahead before weekends. Okay, so this week, this is our plan. First, you're going to learn about the course and the people, including me and you. And then second part of this week lesson will be learning about the field of sports and exercise psychology, which is a partial information from chapter 1 textbook. Learning about people and keen photo for first. So introducing myself and the students. And then afterward, I will talk further more details about the course. So it's about me. I repeat this every semester, but whenever I talk about my past and how I end up where I am at my career, it's exciting, and I want to share that with you so that you can think about your career with your own experience, not because your parents want or other people want get the job in a certain way and then you decided to do that. Maybe that's one way of doing it, but many times connect with your heart, and then that's something I like to share as I am introducing myself to you. So I am former competitive runner. The picture that on the background, that was a national championship many years ago, and one of those finishing top 3 finishing up, one of them is me. It was an 800-meter national championship game that I finished first. So you can see who is the one look like me, all right? Yellow one is me. I was on national champion, junior national team toward 1988 Seoul Olympic. Getting trained, got pulled it out of the classroom, and then I got trained in the morning, in the afternoon, and night, 3 times a day. And it was one of my winter training during in my high school, and during the winter conditioning, jumping over the hurdles to work on my agility and muscles, all that. I landed somewhat wrong way, and then I didn't feel okay on my back. And I told my coach, I don't feel okay, and he said, I was making excuse. So he pushed me to continue training, which I did. And that night I couldn't sleep because of a pain. So I called my mom. My mom came, picked me up, and went to the doctor. They said my back doesn't look good. And there was no sports medicine approach to athletics back then. It was all normal people. So from normal people's standpoint, all the athletes have a problem in their body. Every single joint has a problem, right? So when regular doctor looked at my back, it didn't look good, and he told my mom even to pull me out of the track team. I didn't want to. I remained, but I ended up being unable to recover from it. I struggled additional 2 years. Then I couldn't go back to full training. So national junior team coach disposed me. I actually used that term, disposed me, after all those training, and it pushed me back to the classroom. And then when I got back to the classroom, I was disappointed, of course, frustrated. I couldn't find my identity because my identity was an athlete. I had never been student athletes. So being in the classroom with very minimal academic skill, I didn't know what to do. I studied as hard as I was training myself as an athlete, runners, but I was getting C's and D's. And then I asked my smarty pants sisters, like, how do you study? And they say they read. So I read. And I still get C's and D's. It took me full 1.5 years to bring myself back up to GPA 3.0. And I still remember myself riding back home on the bus, looking at my report card, 3.02 or something like that. And I was tearing, sobbing. Finally, I am regular students. I not regular student. I should say I am average students. So that was feeling good. And then around that time, I had my own time. What I want to become. When you grow up, so that I can decide my college. And my all training, my entire time as an athlete, or male coaches. Like, there was no female coach understanding female body. So I wanted to become female track team coach. And in that I was so determined. So to be able to become coach, athletic team coach, um, I had to go through a physical education credential and become physical education teacher so that I can coach that particular school's track team or other schools. So I made Chungak University in Seoul, private university with really strong PE program, credential program. And I was going through my BS in physical education, like some of you. Uh, and then in my junior year, yeah, it was my junior year, I took sports and exercise psychology class like you all. And when I was taking that class, sitting in there, and I got frozen because the topics the teacher were talking about in that class about stress and then about anxiety, motivation, confidence, and all of that. I was like sitting there thinking, nobody told me about those topics when I was an athlete. I thought I was abnormal if I get nervous. And I got so fascinated and hooked up right there. So I was chasing that Dr. Yu back then about like how can I learn more about this field, and he completely ignored me. I was a junior, and he was mostly working with the graduate students for his research. So I was chasing him, but he totally ignored me. So I took another class with him, and then I aced again. And he gave me a little bit of attention and offered me 699 type of course in my senior year, helping him with his research. So I said, yes, I'll do it. And then that was the beginning of my next degree, which was master's in sports psychology and kinesiology. I end up specializing myself in sports psych, and I learned tons from him. Then I wanted to learn more after my master program, and then he said I need to go America because there was now they do, but there was no PhD program back then in sports and exercise psychology. So I searched a school, particularly people whom I was impressed with their research, and applied to Purdue University, Dr. Joan Duda, about motivation and athletic performance. She accepted me, came here 1994 for my PhD, took 5 years to finish it, then got hired here at SF State in 1999. And then I have been so fortunate to be here to work with our students, and then including you all here. Okay. In terms of my research emphasis, I do research about stress, motivation, and coping strategies, not only with athletics anymore, athletics, but also with exercisers and youth sports participants. So that's normal my research participants and topic. And I do also do cross-cultural research. Haven't done recently, other than my graduate students' thesis project related to cross-cultural research, but I also emphasize in my research diversity and social justice aspect of it more recently. So that's my research kind of a parameter. In terms of a teaching, I have been teaching Kin 331 peak performance. I'm looking forward to teaching that again next semester. 404, of course, this class. 763 motivation and performance class. I share this class with Dr. Nicole Borter. I also teach Kin 7 1110, research design and statistical analysis, which I also share with Dr. Nicole Porter. So we kind of switched around our classes. And that's me. And you may have questions about me. Um, you can email me, you can post that Q&A so that I can share more about me, how I found my career path. And I hope that what I shared becomes a little bit of lighting for you so that you can kind of think through your career path as well. Now it's your turn. So all of you as a group will do forum number 1, which is introducing yourself to class. And I really looking forward to meeting you all through virtually, and then I will interact through forum as well.